So, IMDb was on the show. Short, brief interview, but it's always good to have her on here. We had to spin the block on her as well, dropping a new tape, volume 6, that will be out soon. She said summertime, so yeah, look forward to that because I'll be pressing play on that one. I was scrolling through Twitter. I feel like Twitter's my best friend because you always discover things on Twitter, and there was something that just really caught my attention, and there's a person who's in the studio right now with me who was talking about jobs. Being an expert on jobs interviews and getting people through the door. And I just thought, like, this is such a great niche because, more importantly, it's like, even people sometimes could be crippled by the fact that, okay, you have somewhere you want to apply to, that company or that person is now open an application now for this role that is perfect for you. But then you get so crippled by the thought that, oh, they might not this or that or whatever, what have you. I have the job expert in the building with me today to just teach me one or two things and hopefully teach you one or two things. So if there's a job out there that you have got your eyes on, or there's a company that you want to work with, she's here to drop the gems.
Lovely.
How to get you through that door and how to just master and have the skill of, when it comes to the interviews, just to stand out.
Yeah.
Please, my guest today is Shay. How are you, Shay?
I'm good. That was a powerful intro, man. I'm going to try my best.
Of course. I mean, I've been studying the tweets, so I was like, yeah, you're coming through
No,
strong.
even when I was on my way, I saw you liked one. I said, wow.
I do my research. I'll never be caught lacking ever.
No, I hate you, man. No,
but Shay, thank you so much for coming through.
Oh, thank you for having me, man. Thank you for inviting me on.
No, I appreciate it. I'm loving the look, loving the locks, the braids.
Oh, this
everything.
whole thing? No, I'm joking.
It's coming. It's
Thank you, man.
Let's start off here. International Women's Week.
Yes, of
How
course.
was it for you? How was the day? What did you do? What did
Good
you
question.
get up to?
On the actual day, I was working.
Okay.
The day, I think it was the day before, I went to an event called Phil's, and they do basically showcase like black directors. So it was basically a cinema event. They show short films. So me and my friend that I run my business with, we went to that. It was brilliant. So yeah, celebrating women all week.
Okay, of course.
Yeah.
Obviously, hence why women are on the show today.
There you go.
Makes sense. But Shay, honestly, the gems that you were dropping on Twitter.
Yeah.
For people that may not know, that may not have come across your work, your tweets,
Yep.
what you're about, and why you're here today, please just give us a little story, a little background story about who Shay is.
Yeah, okay. Little background is basically I have a 9 to 5, but I'm actually just a busybody. So I have 2 businesses, and the one that brought me on today, two, yeah. But the one that brought me on today is basically I create content online. I essentially write and help people find jobs they love, jobs they're passionate about, help them fight to get paid what they're worth. And like we were discussing before, it's basically a skill. So you have to learn those skills. So yeah, I kind of phrase it in a way that's accessible for people. And yeah, just try and get people where they need to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great summary, to be fair. You summed it up
Short and sweet, man.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So that's sort of sweet. So you said that's one of your businesses. What's
Yes.
the other one?
The other one is actually a Black British pub quiz. So we run the UK's biggest Black British pub quiz all over London at the moment. Me and my co-owner Sana.
Big up Sana.
Yeah, large up Sana. Yeah, we run that. We've been doing it. It's going to be 5 years at the end of this year. So yeah,
Wow.
it's like 400 black people in a room doing a pub quiz. I know you do your pop
pop
yeah,
quiz,
man.
yeah.
You need to come down to one of our events.
Listen,
You'll
just
love
invite
it.
me. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Any category. I'm there.
Yeah.
Maybe politics slightly. But although I've been doing some research on politics, so I can be well-rounded. But yeah, invite me to the next one. I'll be there. I'll definitely crush
for
it
sure.
as well. But yeah, so that's your second business.
Yes.
This is your first one.
Yeah.
And I guess for me, where did it kind of start off for you? Where was that notion or kind of inkling to be like, you know what, yeah? Had it been through like a personal experience for you where you wanted a job and there was a bit of and you saw the hesitation in yourself? Because I feel like some things are always very much different when it's a personal undertaking and be like, you know what, I know there's people that's probably gone through this as well.
100%.
And it could be conversations with your girls, conversations with your guys. And you'd be like, you know what, there's something that, not even a thing of where like it's for gain or ownership or fame. It's like I could genuinely help people because I'm good at this.
100%.
So where was that moment for you?
So I can't pinpoint the exact moment, but it's exactly that of like, you know, you realize you're good at something. You're like, okay, I need to share this with people. It's not about me. It's just about, you know, this is, I don't want to call it a gift, but this is something I realize I'm good at. And that's kind of what I say to other people, like look for that thing that you're good at that kind of comes easy to you. So that's literally what it was for me with this job stuff. I remember my sister actually told me about this. ages and ages ago, we both used to work for River Island, and I told her, I was like coaching her when I was really young, like, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna go into that place and you're gonna be the one writing like in the interview. So literally when I was so young, I was like telling her, this is my older sister, by the way, larger. But yeah, I was telling her what to do in the interview. And I even remember one of my friends that I went to sixth form with, you know, you have to write the, what's that thing when you're going to uni, when you write for UCAS, that put your personal statement. And one of my friends was like, Shay, you know, you wrote that for me and I wasn't gonna do it. I was like, wow, I've been doing this for a while. So I think that just like teaching people how to navigate themselves, navigate that space where they're kind of explaining what they're good at, like all of that stuff just comes quite naturally to me. And then as I've gotten older, it's just sort of formed in this way where I've put it into processes. So through like ebooks and like sharing and writing, that's just where it's naturally gone. For you. Yeah.
We're gonna get into confidence building, and we're definitely gonna talk about one of the tweets I think is like the 10 things you shouldn't do in an interview.
Yeah.
You see that tweet? I was laughing because you see there was something that you said that made me cackle. I'm gonna talk about it on air as well. But I want to play this because I've known her for quite some time now, and I'm glad that she's dropping more music as well. Here's Kylie Claire with "Before the World Ends." Ain't the best, man. I mean, I love J Huss, I love Storms, but if I had to put it in order, Dave, Huss, Storms. That's me personally.
Dave, Huss, Storms.
That's my order, and I stand by that because you see, Dave, lyricist.
That's my me personally. That's my guy, and he's from Edo State as well. So I'll back him.
Go. All day. Yeah. We've got 14 minutes left.
Okay.
Until we get Kitty on from 7 p.m. onwards. You're definitely gonna want to stick around for that one. Coming with the vibes. But yeah, my name is Samueleni. Been here from 5 p.m. So big up you if you've been locked in from 5 p.m. I appreciate you. And big up you if you just looked in to just hear Shay talk about jobs. Do you know what I mean? The tweet I was referring to. Now, 10 things you should never say in an interview. And I feel like I want to break this down before you can just hand people your socials, details, if you have any ebooks or stuff coming out, what's coming up for you this year. Now, one of the things that you said was, I'm amazing at what I do. And I said to you off air, I was like, I can't imagine someone saying that in an interview, but you said that it actually does happen.
Yeah.
And could you kind of explain that, how, from an employer's perspective, why that might be a detrimental thing to say to someone who's trying to get a job?
Yeah, so I think any form of just blank statements like, oh, I'm really good at this, or, you know, just anything that doesn't come with any stories, any like data to back it up is literally pointless. Like, I just think in interview, you need to be thinking, and so what, and why does this matter to the person that I'm speaking to? So a lot of people, when they're like, oh, like, I'm really good at this, or I'm amazing at what I do, or like, this person recommended me, it's just like, it's not saying to me that you've actually done the work and you have anything to back it up. It's literally just being like, oh, well, just please just trust me, and you're just crossing your fingers, basically. When you go into an interview, you need to always speak in stories. So even if the question is like, you know, what are my strengths, what are my weaknesses, you just always need to give examples. Oh, have you used this tool before? Like, have you used, I don't know, like any tool you have here. Oh yeah, I did it when I was at Represent, and I did it in this way, and we reached X amount of people. Like, always speak in stories, because anything else is just like. So
examples are your best friend.
100%. Examples, stories, numbers, and data are literally your best friend. Like, there's no point you saying, oh, I'm amazing at what I do, or I'm really good at this. It means nothing. Anyone can say that.
Speaking negatively about your current or previous employer. Now, I'm not going to lie. I feel like a lot of people do this.
No, people got onto me for this one. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people, especially if your previous employer was just, there was just something.
Yeah.
They were disturbing your soul. Like you know what, let me even not put her business out there. That is her business. I love her to bits. I'm not going to say nothing on that. But I feel like a lot of people find themselves in situations that when they've left a company that have kind of not really respected them and treated them a certain type of way.
Yeah.
There's a bit of soreness and sourness there, especially when you go above and beyond for a company and you feel like you're not even appreciated anyway.
Yeah.
So why is that important to not do that to your next employer?
So with this one, absolutely, it's a sensitive topic and people don't really like it because it can get very personal in work. It feels a bit like you're robbing that person from being allowed to tell their story. Oh, but like, oh, this thing happened to me and I really want to tell them. But actually, at worst, what you should be doing is just being neutral. It's just my opinion. Again, you can take it with a pinch of salt, but because your previous employer doesn't get their chance to tell their story, you're the person saying all these negative things. part of that negativity does land on you. And in an interview, when you've only got a certain amount of time to get your best foot forward, that's not what you want to be doing. So
don't waste your time on
don't waste your time in it. Like you can say like blank statements like, okay, we had a misalignment on the expectations of the role, like things like that. Yeah. But it's not like, I don't like them. Like, you just don't want to do that because it just doesn't reflect on you well, basically. You just want to look forward a little bit.
Yeah, I think from my experience as well, like, I feel like whenever I was applying, because obviously, thank God, I'm like full-time in this now.
Come on.
You know what I mean? You got to focus on your baby. But when it was those times when I used to be in retail and stuff like that, there was always that question where it's like, oh, why do you want to work with us? And I'm like, I would have to blag here. Yeah. Because I'm being genuinely honest, I genuinely don't want to work here. I'm just using this as part-time money to fund what I genuinely want to do, the things that I do care about. And I feel like a lot of people are probably in that same situation. But when you're in that room, learn how to blag. And really say it. And I feel like that's where research is your best friend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's one of the, go on.
No, absolutely. And I think in terms of like that question of why do you want to work here, that you need to think, like, I think I said this before, why would that employer care, basically? You need to be thinking about them. And it's like, why do I want to work here? It's not because, I want to pay my bills or whatever. It's just like, I see you have this problem. I'm really good at solving this problem. Here's how I can slot myself in here. So you need to just make it a little bit more about them, even though it might be cap, especially at like part-time level or just, doing retail to get by. Yeah. But you need to think, like, always have that mindset of what's in it for them and how can I benefit them. And that's how they're going to see you as like, okay, this person's valuable.
Yeah, I think my last question will be this before I let you go.
Yeah.
Is there such a thing as underselling yourself? And if so, what does that actually look like? Because I feel like you can go into interviews and you can oversell, like obviously with the blanket statement that you was referring to, I'm this or I'm that.
Yeah.
It's better to come with stories and examples and analogies. But is there such a thing that as underselling yourself, where someone could be like, they just might not have the confidence in that room to sell themselves in the right way? And you can be in surroundings where it's just intimidating. Yeah. When you've like, someone has an imposing figure and it's like, oh my gosh, I'm crumbling.
You're crumbling. You don't. Yeah.
So like, is that? I feel like that's anxiety. All of that, all involved into one. How does someone just go about better planning for those situations where, if I am faced with someone like that, I can still sell myself, basically?
Yeah, that's a great question. Happens to a lot of people. I would probably say the majority of time people are underselling themselves, and that's why they sort of flop their interviews. Feedback I hear a lot is that, they didn't give me enough detail. So what I would say to that is it's just a mindset thing. In terms of underselling yourself, I would say that job description, that role is open because that person has a problem. That problem is costing them money, it's costing them time, it's a hole in their business, and you wouldn't literally be sat in that seat if you didn't have the capabilities that they were looking for. So I think that's the first thing that you need to have in your mind when your CV gets picked up. It's like, okay, I've done enough on paper that they think I'm worth it. Now let me tell enough stories or let me do enough digging for them to realize that I'm the person for the job, basically. And hopefully that helps with like underselling.
Shay, thank you so much.
No worries, man.
You've been an asset, you've been a gem.
Thank you for having me.
Keep dropping those gems on Twitter.
Always.
Please tell us your socials where we can follow you.
Yeah,
what's in store?
Of course. So socials, if you want to follow me for like job stuff, it's Jobs with Shay on Twitter. If it's for personal stuff, it's Shay Lokes. And then for the Black British pub quiz, it's Party Here. So PRTYHERE on Instagram and Twitter.
And what's in store? What's next for you? What's the year holding for you?
Goodness, it's a lot. I call myself a professional busybody. So
I feel like you're gonna be on panels. Do you know what I mean?
Look, man. So we've got Party Here's got loads of exciting things coming up. Like something really exciting is coming up for us very, very soon. Jobs with Shay, I'm gonna release some ebooks soon. I used to have one, now I'm bringing one back out. Okay. And just for the rest, just keep it locked, man.
Keep it locked. All right. Keep it locked. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that one as well. So we're definitely going to be like monitoring and just keeping up to date and stuff. And again, thank you so much for just being such a valuable asset to the community as well, because I feel like this is something again that needed for everyone who may not, just doesn't know how to handle interviews. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So thank you again.
No worries. Thank you for having me.
What new songs do I have? I feel like I've played most of the songs that I know have come out today, this week. Let me just double check for ya. Do you know what? I did play RD and Cat Burns, and I really like that one. Nicki Minaj, that's it. There we go. She is someone again. Queen, goated, does her thing. You can't chat to Nicki anytime. Here's Red Ruby, the Sleaze.